Yay! Da 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 da! What's my good cheer? Welcome, welcome, everybody. Just about ready to head out the door to start that job that puts the roof over my head. Grateful today to be able to ground in that job and actually feel like I've accomplished. I feel like I've had a full day. Everything was just bang, 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 bang. I can't believe it. I'm sitting here now feeling like, well, it's time for dinner. Let's take in some lessons. Let's put on our pajamas. Like, that's how complete my day feels like right now. But it's just starting. But that's the movement, right? And today is the last day that we'll be talking about movement, unless we happened onto that word again. I could have covered it in so many ways. I really, really, truly did. But I know these lessons are for me, and they're kind of catered and growing, right? Entwining those roots and everything, intermingling with my being, with my life, my existence, and all those parts of me. It takes all kinds to make the world. It truly is. But we're not quite there yet. And you can just take a look around yourself and, like, who can really argue with that? But is it the worst of the worst? Oh my goodness. No, right? Because that's our evolution, and it's never changed from that. Movement is always a bit of a struggle. It's a bit of a bumble because we don't know what's in the future. And right, when we're moving forward, we're moving forward. We're moving into the unknown. And if you're highly sensitive or you're empathic, right, like me, it's not like we're special needs or anything, but it is in a special kind of recipe that we come to the table, right? Because we come to the table with our experiences, don't we? We come to the table with our hypervigilance and our compulsive tendencies. And that can be a good thing, right? But that good thing is supposed to be a tool in your movement forward, right? In your movement forward. But again, we're highly sensitive. We're empathic. We do for others. That's where our self-worth comes from, right? And you're probably no different than me, right? Our self-worth comes from what people think of us. And it's for me myself, it's trauma based in that, along with that hypervigilance, right? Along with those pink ice donuts and the sprinkles. It's all part of that special recipe, right? That needs special attention. And that's, I guess, not the analogy, but I don't want anybody to think that these attributes that we have, right? They can be just as much of a miracle gift than it can be a hindrance, right? Right? That hypervigilance, right? Nothing gets by us. If it moves, we're on it. We're studying it. We're tearing apart. We're putting it back together, right? That's absolutely amazing. That makes it so that as we move forward, you're more than likely to be able to see the potholes before you get there, right? So it's just a special way of moving, right? Right? It's not special needs. And if it was special needs, then so be it. We'll give it that attention too, right? I'm grateful. I live in a province that considers your emotional well being to be just as important as your physical well-being. And maybe that's that tendency for me to, when I come in here, and in that respect for understanding that it takes all kinds to make the world. And if it takes all kinds to make the world, it's going to be all kinds, all different kinds, right? And each one of us, even though we might not be hardcore besties, right? We won't be joined at the hip. We will have interactions with each other. And, it's important to be able to have those at least common courtesies, common respects in each other's understandings, because everybody understands a little bit differently. We all do, right? But these are not ideas that, right, I'm a student just as much as I'm a teacher. I'm a participant just as much as I'm a spectator, and I'm grateful to have those attributes. But those attributes are, right, kind of trauma based, and so, right, I'm not special needs because where I'm lacking in some aspects of my life, I am overabundant in other aspects of my life. And each one of us can beat ourselves up for not having an attribute that somebody else has. But take a look also when you see that and see the difficulties, because we're also all handicapped, right? In some way. Some are just more visible than others. Some of them are just a little bit more extreme than others, but we're all dealing with something, whether it's emotional, social, physical, right? Economical, economical, right? But we all have struggles. And so if we can learn that, in that understanding that it takes all kinds to make the world, that just as much as we're highly sensitive and empathic, that we need that special, not special needs, but special ways of moving, right? Right? In that respect of going slow, or jumping into conclusions, or taking it very, very slow and tearing it apart and putting it back together and still not having a decision to be made, right? No matter what, each one of us has an opportunity to make a little bit of movement. It's just a matter of, right, putting yourself in a situation that you can feel safe and comfortable. But remember, right? The more we're around, the more we're rubbing up, right? Like I said, we don't have to be besties, but I'm going to work today, right? Connecting and having conversations and, right, doing my thing, practicing my craft with whoever decides to pop into the store, right? And I'm going to revel in that because, right, this is now complete, right? Feel fantastic. Taxes done, passports done, laundry done. I got one more message to send. Do I have time? Oh, I do have. Wow, I'm ahead of the game. Right? But it's not always like that. And I have to take advantage of that momentum, right? Because as fast as we can get into it, right? The moment that pink ice donuts with the sprinkles shows up, I just might have to take a break to partake in that enjoyment, right? And I say that with a smile because I understand that, these are the way I cope. And, being highly sensitive and, right, understanding that my self worth comes from what other people think, right? I have to think, what do I think? Because I'm probably the worst contributor, right? Because I do beat myself up. I do, right? I'd like to say that I'm my own best friend 100% of the time. But sometimes in that anticipation, sometimes in that fear, sometimes in that hesitation, uh, we can we can be our not our worst enemies, but our worst coaches, right? There you go. Because a coach cares, right? A coach cares, but the coach is not going to be easy on you, right? When you're going for the gold medal. I saw the cutest video was some guy doing the bars and he was doing this and his coach was off to the side and he was making all the moves with the guy up on the bars and he was just like all nervous and then the guy completed it and it was absolutely perfect and this coach went absolutely berserko cheering and dancing and fist pumping and hugging and it was absolutely amazing. I don't know why I brought that up, only because the video popped into my head and it really was sweet. But I bet you that coach, when it was time for training for that event, right? I bet you he was not easy on him because, right, does take consistent practice. Just not practice every once in a while and okay, now time for a break and a pink ice donuts. But it always has to be going on, right? And if it's always going on, you're not thinking about the pink ice donuts. And then things just kind of sort themselves out on your own. And then you don't become that critical person, that person that devours yourself, that person that allows that guilt and shame to come to the surface so you can use yourself as a whipping boy, right? It's enough that it's right. And we do that to ourselves. So I understand, right? My weaknesses in the moment, and I understand I am a work in progress and I get better and better all the time, right? And I have the lessons, right? But being that I don't know. Maybe it is in my stubbornness, right? Maybe it is in my stubbornness that I don't want to let go of that pink ice donut, right? It's a zero food, right? But it is a treat and it is a reward, right? And in the moment, that's how I move. But I guess that's going to be a discussion for another day because I'm off to work, everybody. Having an amazing day. We're done for the week. I will be back on Monday. We'll be picking another word. We're going to be on our 29th word. And yeah, we're getting there. If you guys want to come and hang out with me, I will be going live sometime tomorrow on Instagram, Saturdays I do Instagram. Sunday night, I have another live show here on YouTube, Chatters Live. Come in, it's casual. I have the most amazing friends and amazing moderators who chat more than I do. Come and hang out with us. It's show and tell. You'll get to see my staff charges, some of those things that I get to pick up. I get to score in this job that I have that puts the roof over my head in this little thrift shop that offers up so many gifts. And it truly does. Okay, you guys, I got to run off. Well, I got to do one more message, and then I'll really feel cool about my day. One more message, off I go. Have a great day. Bye bye. Whoops.